Welcome to the Nexus of Adventure, where stories transcend the page, a place where heroes and villains clash. This is Break, Battle, and Roll. It's once again time to break, battle, and roll. Welcome back to episode, what are we on now, 29?
Yes!
Yeah. My name is Aaron Rollins. I am your dungeon master, your barkeep, and I am joined here by my three wonderful players, starting with the actual voice actor filling in for the role of Winnie the Werepoo.
Winnie the Werepoo.
Chad Stafford.
Oh, every time you do this to me and I'm supposed to do a bit, and then I get thrown off the bit, and I don't know how to get back to the bit, and now I don't want to do the bit no more, because I'm like, you know what I should have done was a Winnie the Pooh song reference, but I didn't do that.
Give us the bit.
It's close to midnight, but in the Feywild it's kinda hard to tell. They're out to get us, by some boys and even werebears. I wanted to scream, but something worse came out of the darkness. Something obscene materialized right before our eyes. Mustache fun guys, and having a killer thriller tonight is Timothy Biscuit.
Yes! Because these are red caps, and they're yummy.
Yeah, thanks for making me love that last red cap that we had to kill. He was amazing.
Well, let's move on to the player behind the most terrifying sales negotiator, Janelle Wilke.
Hello there, this is Flowerkraut, and I am currently watching a little blood and honey thing happening right now. Nathaniel and Brandy are just off to the side eating.
Oh my gosh.
Lots and lots of brains, just jars of brains.
So grotesque.
Oh, nasty.
Just brain jibs everywhere. And then those quickly get slurped up because you wouldn't want to waste anything.
Oh, we're having a killer thriller tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, now I'm imagining Nathaniel and Brandy doing the thriller dance.
Aw, that's cute. I'm gonna go dip Nathaniel really quick. Whoop!
Speaking of the red caps, we are also joined by the voice of the new red cap facial hair critic, Ben Holland.
Hey, you know what we can do after we watch Blood and Honey 2, because I'm going back to that. Later this year comes out Bambi the Reckoning, because that also went opening, so we can go see Bambi the Reckoning. We're just going to talk about that today.
Oh, fuck.
What about the Steamboat Willie one? That's also happening.
That looks good. That looks good, too.
Yeah, the second the IPs become public, they just throw them into the garbage, mix them with some Blood and Honey, and expect everyone to enjoy. I don't know. I'm still going to probably watch all of them, but...
Yeah. I mean, we should have talked about that because you could have just watched it with me.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, guys. It's been a while since we recorded, as it seems to be the way for us. So let's jump right into our recap of episode 28. On our last break, battle, and roll, the blood memory surrounding the broken stone faded as the droplets scattered once again to the bodies of the lycanthropes, to which they began to stir and rise. Bring back the Maiden of the Moon, they moaned as they immediately dashed to attack the adventurers. With ease, the party knocked down each of the rotting remnants of the were creatures. Their blood liquefied once more and pooled on the ground. From each rose a blood-crazed redcap. The short-capped creatures with various styles of facial hair leapt at the group, determined to reap their blood for themselves, their scythes cutting each and every way. Thrig took a number of cuts, and Flowerkraut received an iron boot to the face. A brawl erupted all around, with Nathaniel running for cover, Timothy dodging attacks while balancing on a rock, and Remington firing shots with Flowerkraut atop the actual broken stone itself. Eventually, the redcap's facial hair were reduced to a clean shave, and they were dissolved into a pool of blood once again. With the danger cleared, Nathaniel and Brandy went straight to eating what brain matter they could get their hands on, while the rest discussed the blood memory. Timothy and Flowerkraut explained more about the hags to Remington and Thrig, in hopes that they might deduce Aster's intentions with the Maiden of the Moon. Timothy suggested using necromancy to speak with the dead, to which Nathaniel happily obliged, feeling reinvigorated. He placed a hand on a dead Winnie the Werepoo's head and brought him back to the land of the living to answer 5 questions. Thrig couldn't resist asking how he could also become a bear. They also asked how the Moonstone was taken, where the Maiden of the Moon could be taken so that its power could not be used, where Aster went with the Maiden of the Moon, and what lies in the direction that she took it. With the final answer given, the werebear slumped back to the ground, dead. And that is where we left off.
And because you talked about like a blood brawl breaking out, now I'm like wishing Chad also came up with a musical song for like Ballroom Blitz, only it's like Blood Moon Blitz.
Ooh.
Blood Moon Blitz? Are you kidding me with that? Flowerkraut. That's awesome.
Yes.
There was a werebear in the back. I think he's going to attack as the moon is high in the sky.
Blood Moon Blitz.
Thrig is actually pretty hurt.
I'm sorry, Thrig, did you just say you're very, very hurt?
Thrig is very hurt.
How much mustache do you have left on you, Thrig?
I mean, they couldn't get up here. There's my knees that really hurt.
Oh yeah, it's all bottom half. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Those shins have seen better days.
My calves are shredded. And they're also cut.
You know, and I think when they call them red caps, it means that they make your kneecaps all red. Because man, look at your knees.
Yeah, this is bad.
That's nasty. I'm so sorry. Yeah, if Brandy had a beard, her beard or mustache HP bar would look like one whisker. So she also is not doing too great.
I'm doing fine, by the way.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, no one asked, Nathaniel. We know.
We know.
We're well aware how fine you're doing.
Congratulations, dead boy.
Okay. I'll be over here if anyone needs anything.
I mean, you helped.
I don't know if we have any potions in our inventory. I've got maybe 1 or 2 healing words left in me if we need it.
Well, I don't think we're in any danger right now, Timothy, and we know where we're going next. That dead guy just gave us a good hint onto where What's-Her-Face took the stone. So, listen, Thrig, you take your time, all right? You just get a little bit of rest.
Yeah, can we take a little rest? Is a little rest enough, or do we need, like, a whole rest?
I think a little. I might be able to give us a little song of rest to make our short rest a little more beneficiary.
Ooh. A little mini spa.
Little moon bathing.
Ooh, moon bathing. Get the moonstones out, yes.
Don't know how that works, but we'll figure it out.
Thrig just sits down and starts bandaging his calves.
Hold on. Flowerkraut's got a whole bag of crystals. She needs to have it. They need to charge.
Yeah, I need to charge the crystals. Oh, wait, fuck, the moon's gone. Dang it, this is a terrible condition for the crystals.
Well, you've got no moonstone, but there is definitely like a full moon in the sky that just kind of swaths over the Brokenstone Vale at all times.
That's right. Is it just nonstop full moon around here?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, never mind. Perfect conditions. Thank you. Voice in the sky. Love you.
You guys are taking a Song of Rest, short rest.
Yes, so that means you can add an extra 1d6 to your hit points.
Well, it looks like Remington and Nathaniel are good, but I know you guys are probably in need of some heals.
This is going swimmingly.
Oh, heck yeah. I only needed to use one of my hit dice, and I'm back up to full.
I am almost there. I've used 2. Thank you for that d6. So I'm at 57.
How about Flowerkraut? You rolling some hit dice?
Yes, yeah, I did the thing that I always do when it's been a little while since we've played, and I've left my dice behind. And I went and grabbed them. So far I got one HP left. And I rolled another 1. Okay, cool. So I now have 18 hit points.
Well, make sure to add a are you just using how many hit dice are you going to use? Because you've got 6 in total for the day.
Is it 1d6 and then Chad gave us another d6?
If you click your short rest button, it'll tell you what your hit die is. Like I roll a d12.
Okay, mine's a d8. Got it. Okay, let me do a d8 instead of the d6.
Now, Timothy, is is it 1d6 for every hit die, or just 1d6 you get added for the entire short rest?
I believe it's just one, but you never know. Hold on 1 second. Song of Rest. If you and any friendly creatures can hear your performance, regain hit points at the end of your short rest by spending one or more hit dice. Each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 of hit points. So it's just one for the whole time, and I'm just working on Blood Moon Blitz.
Okay, so it's one for the whole rest. Okay.
Oh, I'm so psyched to hear Blood Moon Blitz. But yeah, I rolled an 8. Okay, so I'm up to 25 now.
All right. You can keep using them if you want.
I can? Why? That's cool.
For a short rest, you can use as many hit dice as you want. It would just mean that in future short rests of this day, you'd have less available to you.
Yeah, like I've used half of mine, so half of mine are gone. I used 3.
I just realized I got more because I'm also a rogue now.
This is why I keep telling Chad to stop casting healing spells when you have the chance to take a short rest.
I know I could tell people to take a short rest. I don't know how expedient people are feeling these days. Narrator.
My die are kind of mean. All right.
Then get rid of that dice right now before we get into a fight.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it gave me an 8 the first time, but then it was a 2 and a 1 and a 1.
Flowerkraut, charge your dice.
I'm trying. I'm charging the crystals, damn it. Okay, 31 out of 39 HP for Flowerkraut, so her mustache is almost back to full health.
Nice.
All right, let's see here. How would this go? All right, I think I've got some lyrics figured out. Let's give this a try. Yeah, the red caps are in the back and they're poised to attack, so it turned into a Blood Moon Blitz. And Nathaniel's in the corner hoping they don't come over as it turns into a Blood Moon Blitz. Blood Moon Blitz.
Yeah!
Blood Moon Blitz.
Woo! Yes!
Oh, I think we've got something here. Gonna have to keep working on this for sure.
As you guys are taking this short rest and bandaging up or just, rubbing some dirt in your wounds,
or just listening to Nathaniel suck so much brain.
Yes, Nathaniel is sucking up so many little brains.
Playing the lutes as loud as I can to not hear that sound in particular.
Thrig, is that dirt really helping the wound close on your knees?
Just rub dirt in it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okie dokie.
My hit dice is just rubbing dirt on it.
Yes.
I can't help but notice there's a lot of, activity in the dirt, and I think it's of the maggot variety, so I don't... Oh, Thrig, no.
I mean, they use maggots to eat necrosis, so, skin that's dead.
Stop infection.
Stop.
Yum.
Keep those maggots away from me.
Oh, shit, yeah.
We turn and he's just covered in maggots and worms.
Oh,
yeah.
Disgusting. Get over here, Nathaniel. Give me those. I put them on Thrig instead.
You scoop them off of Nathaniel and put them on Thrig.
That's absolutely disgusting. Dumps them on Thrig. There. Now that's more sanitary.
Thank you. I'm clean now.
Good, they would have eaten my entire body. It's all necrosis.
Yeah.
You guys notice that after eating brains, Nathaniel seems a little more chipper in his step, and he also kind of seems maybe a little bit bulked. He's always been this twig, but the parts of him that were sewn back together almost look like they were never torn apart in the first place anymore. He just has this look about him like he's in a lot better shape than he was before.
You can just say he's cut, narrator. It's fine. If we need to roll for arousal, we'll do it.
He's got this wicked six-pack.
His handsome Squidward face is, wow, immaculate.
Everyone make charisma saving throws right now.
Yes.
Every brain equals a new ab.
Oh no, I got a 7. I'm so charmed.
Oops, I rolled a 7.
Wow. Flowerkraut's fanning herself.
She stumbles into his arms.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Oh my god, he's so hot. Somebody help get me out of this situation.
Look how easy it is to lift you up and twirl you around, yes.
Thrig flicks a maggot at him.
Oh, God.
He like drops Flowerkraut.
He's like swatting at the maggot.
Oh, how does Brandy regain hit points? Does she do that during short rest, by the way?
That's a good question because a lot of creatures have a hit die. She does have hit dice. She has a D6.
And she would get another D6 because she is also hearing Blood Moon Blitz.
Yep.
Yay!
4 hit dice a day, and there are D6s, but for that first one, she would get 2D6 because of the Song of Rest.
All right, she got 10 back, so she has a total of 11. Hooray for Brandy! Blood Moon.
She was down to 1
She
hit
was down
point.
to 1.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yep, that's why I said her mustache HP bar would have only had 1 whisker left on it.
Some might say that the only HP that matters is that 1.
Yeah.
I love that, the Red Caps had the mustache HP bar, but so did Brandy.
Well, she just has a mustache of tentacles.
She does.
Everyone had a mustache HP bar, even Flowerkraut. It's just like it pans across the fight, and Flowerkraut's got this big, bushy, green and white mustache.
That'd be so funny that it just pans across each of our characters, and we all, for some reason, have mustaches, including
Yes.
like Timothy has a feather mustache.
But Thrig's is like the finest oiled twirly mustache, like the fancy man mustache.
Gorgeous. It is beautiful.
Dustin Hoffman Hook style mustache.
Yes,
Thrig
absolutely.
makes his own beard balm.
I don't want to know how that happens, but
She just squash up some maggots.
I was going to say, he looks at you and just crushes a maggot. He's like, starts rubbing it in.
Yep, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
That's about what I had in mind.
Smells like pine trees.
It does. Lovely.
Well, if you're all feeling a little bit better, I've been looking out in this direction a bit, trying to get my bearings, and I kind of have a semblance of some kind of tracks that maybe this hag left behind, but they're pretty faint. So I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Can you show me?
Oh yeah, sure.
How long ago did this happen? Like, that's crazy.
Well, you see, when you've been around and you've been tracking as much as I have, it's not just the imprint. You got to look at what's around the footprint. What matters, what there's been pebbles that have been imprinted into the dirt, or sticks that have been snapped as they've been walked on, or leaves crumbled. So, unfortunately, with all this time that's been transpired between when she left and now, it has been difficult. But luckily, we're still kind of in the swampy area, and I can still tell where she went. So here, let me show you. And Remington takes you over, and he's kind of showing you a little bit of the ropes on how a tracker would look for signs of movement through an area. And you guys head that direction, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Remington's kind of doing the same thing he was before, where he's hopping up onto the rocks and like the trees, sniffing the air, looking around. You notice a couple times he pauses for a very, very long time, and then he finally seems to get some kind of hint as to, okay, maybe this is the right way. And eventually, you guys leave the murky fen, even though the sky still indicates that you are in the Broken Stone Vale. The earth below begins to become very rocky. Even the dirt becomes tough under your feet. And vegetation starts to become non-existent. There's a little bit of residual moss and bog that kind of like laps over into this area, but you can tell that you're kind of moving into a different biome of sorts. And ahead of you, out on the horizon, you see mountains and hills with no trees on them. They look dead. And Remington turns around and he says, well, shit, this is... I don't know where she went. The ground's too solid here.
What is this direction? What's out there?
Well, that dead bear told us this is where the Pumice Mountains... Is that what he said?
Right.
Yes, I believe he said that we needed to go to the Pumice Mountains.
Holy shit, Timothy, you sound just like him.
Oh, thank you. It's his voice has been in my head for so long. This whole trip, I just keep hearing it. It's haunting, but somehow, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Comforting.
Yeah.
It's comforting and haunting at the same time. You've captured it perfectly.
Such a friendly voice came from such a horrific sight. It's a weird dichotomy, for sure.
Is the voice telling you to do things?
Many voices tell me to do things, Thrig. That's what anxiety is.
Sweet. I flick a maggot at him.
Can Flowerkraut do some kind of check to just, like, draw on what she knows about Aster, maybe what she's seen in her dwelling when they were back in Glavio, or something that could give her a clue as to where she might take it or how she might find a dwelling in this place or something?
What would you like to roll for this?
Maybe a history or investigation check of some kind?
Sure. Either of those works.
Is there any way that I could give her a help action? Because I know it's been a while, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I also see a vision that Aster was like showing me that she took Tierman somewhere in the Feywild? So maybe I might also kind of have like an inkling of like where a domicile or like a hidden place that she might consider would be.
That sight that you saw in your dream of Aster taking Tierman was just of her visiting him in the material plane and then transporting him through a portal. So you don't know what's on the other side of that portal. You never saw anything like that. You don't really know much more about her or have any connection to her.
Sorry, Flowerkraut.
That's okay. I am trying to recall just like any shred of something that I remember when I was going through her dwellings, any sign that she could have been through, because she also she had to carve into a mountain. I know she used the Helax to help out, but maybe there's something to that since we are at a mountain yet again. Oh, I rolled a nat 1.
Flowerkraut's eyes roll back into her head and she starts walking off again. No!
Here we go again.
Oh,
Flowerkraut, you really, the only things that you can come up with is what you already said, that you know that Aster has something for mountains because her previous dwelling was in a mountain. She tunneled through a mountain with the Helax. So your best guess is that she's somewhere in this range of the Pumice Mountains, but you don't know how she picks her domiciles or what is appealing to her when it comes to where she wants to set down her roots or to stash things. None of that stuff seems to make its way to your thoughts.
Yeah, I am not seeing anything useful. It might just be whatever the most dangerous, imposing mountain looks like, because that's all I've got.
At the very least, we could attempt to climb these mountains to gain some vantage point of the surrounding area.
Thrig was born in mountains. I'll climb those.
That sounds good.
Well, you guys continue towards the mountains. Remington, again, he's just, looking down at the dirt, trying to see anything that might resemble tracks or movement through this area, and he keeps kind of shaking his head in frustration. You get closer, and you can start to make, like the view of the mountains comes to you where they're lifeless, they're lacking vegetation because these mountains are porous. Like you can see all of these little holes off in the distance of these mountains, almost like they're solidified sponges. And, like further off, you can see like a little creature, well, you're not sure how little it is, come crawling out of one hole and then skitter down into another hole.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
The hell is that?
Remington, have you ever seen anything like this?
Like I said, Timothy, I try to avoid this place with all my being, all right?
Yeah, all right. That's starting to become so clear.
What about you, handsome guy?
I've never seen one before either. No.
No, she was talking to me.
Oh.
Oh my god, the confidence.
Wow, that was presumptuous.
I love that Thrig. I love that Thrig answers.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was talking to the buff skeleton.
The Pumice Mountains. Porous earth. There's not really much history as to how they came to be, but because of the lack of resources, lack of water, they are known to be rather devoid of life, and It is a wasteland, according to the rest of the Fae. That's about all I know of them.
So any creature that would be here would be a survivor. Best not to find out how good they are at surviving.
Yeah, probably are scavengers of sorts, is my guess. Stay alert, everyone, all right? Just, this is what we do here. You guys know the drill. Feywild, we keep to the shadows. We don't want to be noticed, all right? So everyone take your steps as softly as you can.
Who's taking point, by the way?
Remington's definitely up ahead of you guys.
Okay, so Flowerkraut is going to use her Bell Branch and cast Protection from Good and Evil on Remington.
Oh, nice. How long does that last?
Oh, that's a good question. Either I'm not seeing it, or it just simply does not say.
Protection from good and evil. It indeed does not say. Oh, no, there it is. Duration 10 minutes. It was just below.
Oh, geez, that's a lot shorter than I thought. Okay,
Very
well, maybe...
short. Okay. Maybe I save it then.
Yeah.
Since Remington is sneaking anyway, and he can give us a heads up if he sees something suspicious, then I can cast it on him.
Narrator, what kind of checks is Remington doing to kind of survey the scene? Is he doing like survival checks?
Mm-hmm. Yep, survival checks.
Well, if need be, Remington, I believe I could enhance your ability.
Okay, what does that mean? Oh, you gonna do that thing you did to Thrig?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that for you.
I mean, like, where I can just run and never need to stop? Is that what you're gonna do?
Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but if that's what you feel like would be best suitable for our situation, I was thinking more granting you what I would call Al's wisdom.
But he's a bunny.
Yes, Thrig. I understand that.
You see the tail? As a bunny.
Uh-huh.
No wings. Bunny.
Oh, wait. Owl's wisdom? Are you gonna make me as wise as Roan? Because he's the one with the owl mask, and he's a dumb shit if you ask me.
Okay. All right. I'm receiving a lot of negative feedback, and I'm taking it in.
Hey, you know what? You do you, Timothy. If there's anything around here that y'all can think of that will help me find the tracks of this hag who carried away a moonstone that pissed off a big old dragon thing that's been killing people here in the Feywild, I'd be happy to hear your feedback.
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and cast Owl's Wisdom on him, which will give him it'll give him advantage on all wisdom checks, which I believe survival is a wisdom-based skill.
It sure is. Ooh, I feel so wise right now. All right, well, let's see if this little magic you cast does me any good, Timothy. Here we go.
Oh, I didn't know that spell would also make his head be able to rotate like an owl. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
That's weird.
Well, you helped him roll a nat 20.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
That is a 27 survival check.
He survives the apocalypse.
Remington finds tracks where it seemed hopeless that he would find tracks. He finds them. And he ushers you guys to follow behind him as he's going. And about 10 minutes in, you guys are essentially reaching the foothills of the Pumice Mountains. You guys are kind of entering into the area. And he loses the tracks again. And you guys look around. There's a million different directions that Aster could have gone. She could have climbed up a mountain to the side of you. She could have gone around the mountains at this point. There's so many different directions. And Remington just kind of sighs and yeah, I'm going to try again, Timothy. Let's see.
That's all right. Flowerkraut, this might be a wild thought, but I mean, Aster's whole thing, she tries to control creatures. She tries to control the hearts and minds of forced followers. Is there a chance that one of these creatures could have been something she controlled at one point or another?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, that's what she did with the Helax. She used them to help carve out her dwelling and then, eventually carve her way to Macadam. So definitely possible.
How many of these creatures have we seen thus far?
Off in the distance, you've probably seen half a dozen.
Okay, all right. Huh.
They don't seem to stay out on the surface very long before they dip back into one of the holes that are in the mountains.
Is there any way that could a perception check be made to see if we can make out any other details other than them just being creatures that are peeking in and out of these, crevices?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Ooh, I'd love to do a nature check.
Well, how about this? So I want to make sure you perceive them first, and then a nature check can be done to kind of recall or to analyze what they are.
I'm going to use Kenku Recall to give myself advantage on this roll.
Okay. Does that recharge every short rest for you?
Every long rest.
Okay. So how many of those do you get?
I get 3 per long rest.
I rolled an 18.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe I don't have to use it.
I still want Flowerkraut and Timothy to roll because they could determine something else.
Okay. 17 for perception.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh, God. That is a very unfortunate Kenku recall. So, Timothy, you have been paying more attention to trying to help Remington keep up with the tracks. And like, you've been focusing on this magic that you're concentrating on to keep his wisdom up. So you didn't really see the other instances of some creature crawling out of the mountain and crawling back in, but Thrig and Flowerkraut, you guys definitely saw it. And Flowerkraut, I want you to now roll nature to see if you can identify anything about it. Thrig, these things just look like bugs to you.
Okay.
Ooh, another bug to add to the bug catalog for Flowerkraut?
Don't rub those into your knees, Thrig, please. Or use them as beard oil.
If they look like they could make a good beard oil, I'm not gonna say no.
I rolled a 17 plus my 4 nature, so 21.
Flowerkraut, you recognize these things. These look a lot like some of the creatures that Laminaria was controlling.
Oh, no way.
Remember the shush lips?
Yes.
Those are the things crawling in and out of the mountain.
It's funny because I was literally looking at that art yesterday.
Oh, I hate those.
Hey, Timothy.
No.
Do you remember when Sherman used his sword to shush the lips of a bug?
Yeah, and I also remember them almost killing me.
Yeah,
Don't tell me that's what these are.
they must have come from here.
Ugh. God dang it, I want to like the Feywild.
Can someone explain to Thrig?
Thrig, the first hag we encountered, she was using these fey insects to basically terrorize and take over a town. Thankfully, we put a stop to it, but they came in hordes. There must be so many of them.
We literally had to win the favor of an enormous frog army, not regular frogs, enormous frogs, in order to deal with it.
Yeah, you ever hear of the Frodes? We could sure use them right now.
Aaron, has Thrig ever heard of the Frogs? Can I make a history check?
You can make a history check. The DC for this is going to be pretty insane.
Oh, don't worry, I have a -1 history. It'll go well. A 7.
Nope.
Thrig don't know what Frode is.
I'm going to go ahead and just assume that this is actually Thrig's first time to the Feywild in general, so...
Oh, yeah. It would have to be.
Yeah, so like, you're like, nope, I have no idea. I mean, Thrig's learning every single day of new things about the Fey.
And forgetting them, too.
Aw.
A vicious cycle indeed.
I feel like you would love them. You would love them, Thrig. They are giant frogs. They were pretty nice, actually. I was surprised. I thought they might, try to eat us, but they ate the fey insects instead.
They ate up the timeshare idea for sure.
Oh, they sure did. Yes.
Sherman gave them quite the pitch.
Yeah, he did.
Did you ask Nathaniel if there were Frodes anywhere nearby we could go talk to?
Oh, I was just expecting Nathaniel to, just sort of interrupt us at some point, like he's been doing.
I'm sorry, are you talking about me?
Nathaniel's just staring at himself in a mirror.
He's flexing.
He's just got, a hand mirror, and he's like, oh, what?
He must have eaten the brain of a real narcissist.
Is he eating 12 dozen brains? Is every last inch of him covered in hair?
I'm thinking about maybe growing a mustache. What do you think? Oh, I don't think I could actually grow a mustache. He turns to all of you. Frodes, I can't say I've ever heard of that.
You know, I just imagine that when Nathaniel turns, he's been sitting and like looking at a hand mirror, and then he does that turn where he kicks one leg high over the other and then like faces us.
And he's got like one leg up on a rock, like Riker style.
Yeah.
He never sits in chair normally. It drives Thrig crazy.
Flowerkraut's just kind of like momentarily entranced, like, what? Sorry, what'd you say, Timothy?
You know, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. Let's just avoid these bug creatures. Or I guess, no. Shoot. We're gonna have to get closer to one of their nests, aren't we? That would just be our luck.
So y'all came to the Feywild once before, and you dealt with giant frogs? You guys must have been in a terrifying part of the Fey.
I mean, it's a little nicer than here, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair. I guess giant frogs wouldn't be anything of surprise after everything we've seen so far.
Have you ever heard of the term, there's always a bigger fish? It was kind of like that. Every time we turned, there was something bigger that wanted to eat the thing that was trying to eat us. And that's where we ended up seeing a bunch of Frodes.
You know, you're starting to make a lot of sense, Timothy. All the anxiety, all the worry. You know what, man? I get it. I understand you.
Oh, thank you.
Still, I have no idea where she would have gone from here. Your guess is as good as mine. We can just spin around and throw a dart. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I have kind of a weird idea. What if I transform into Aster and I could try approaching and see the reactions of the insects and see, you know, which ones kind of like back away, which ones kind of ignore her? Do you think that might be? Because if she frequented a certain area, then maybe they would be like, you know, a little bit freaked out to see her back and they might like skedaddle, you know?
What do you mean turn into her?
Oh, I can disguise myself. I can basically take on any kind of humanoid creature. Yeah. I mean, you know, I disguised myself as Laminaria once. Might as well go for two, right?
How do you want to go about doing this, Flowerkraut?
Let's see. We can either have you guys be kind of like my entourage, although I would like Timothy to stay hidden, because in a pinch, if we need to act it out again, have you do the voice, you know, if I need to do a little intimidation check, I think you could help me out there, but I don't want them to see her voice coming out of your beak, you know?
Yeah. Let's keep a little distance so that the lip sync doesn't look completely off.
Thrig have idea.
What's Thrig's idea?
Timothy hide in my cloak. It'll make me look even taller, and I'll put it over my head where you can't see my face. I'll look gigantic, and we walk up, and if Timothy has to talk, he can talk through me. And then if we have to fight, he can just jump out and get surprised.
Perfect. Yes.
I feel like I'm going to get in the way of all of this. I'll be hiding behind this rock.
You sure? No, Nathaniel, you should be out front.
Do you want to get back on my back?
Anything but that.
So, okay, and here's anything, and I throw a maggot at him.
Oh, God! Hide behind the rock and rip the maggot off your face!
That'll keep him preoccupied.
All right. Remington, you cool acting like my entourage? Or if you want to, you can find a place to hang out if you need to do a sneak attack. That might be best. So Thrig, you can be the muscle for me.
Yeah.
You're like my hired bodyguard, basically.
I'll be nearby, but I don't want to be seen by these things. But I'll do my best to keep an overwatch.
Do I have to do a stealth check to be hidden inside of Thrig's clothes?
You're gonna be my hood.
No, you just need to do... You're already hiding. It's no big deal. All right.
Okay.
All right. Tell me what you guys are doing.
All right. Flowerkraut is trying to stay hidden when she casts Disguise Self, and she does so. And then she nods to Thrig. Timothy, she sees little beady eyes kind of peeking out under the hood. And she nods at both of them. And we're going to stroll like we belong here. And she's just going to be inspecting the mountains and seeing how They're the flay? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the flays.
The flays. She's going to see how they react to her.
The flays and the fays.
All right, give me a performance check, Flowerkraut.
All right. 14 plus 3, 17.
Very nice. All right, so you're kind of wandering in a random direction to see if you can catch the attention of these insects. Takes a while because, again, they don't seem to surface very often. But you find one coming out of a rock not too far from you. And at first, it doesn't look like it's going to see you. Like it's not looking around. It's not on alert or anything like that. It looks like it's on a mission, like to move from one hole to another. So what do you do before it like dips into the next hole?
I want to see, like, maybe I need Timothy now to be able to mimic her voice, to be like, I'm gonna be like, hey, can you get that guy's attention?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hello, my darling creatures.
And I want you to say, like, long time no see.
I've been waiting here for days.
Give me a deception check.
I will throw it out there that Kenkus have the perfect mimicry, and more often than not, they have to roll against discovering the mimicry.
Okay, and the AC against that is what?
Mimicry, you can accurate mimic sounds you've heard, including voices. A creature that hears the sound can tell that they're imitations only with a successful insight check. That is a DC 14.
So basically what happens here is you mimic Aster's voice. However, you kind of catch yourself as you're thinking back to Aster and what she actually sounds like. And this creature stops, looks at you, and then looks back at the hole ahead of it and keeps scuttling on and goes right back into the mountain. It rolled high, so it was just like, who the fuck are you? It also seemed to not give two fucks that you guys were standing there. Mm-hmm. It didn't seem aggressive. It just was just like...
Very neutral?
Yeah.
Well, I think that means that we can at least get up close, all right? So we can take a look around, but I'm going to guess that they didn't really want these guys around once she hid what she was trying to hide. So I think they would probably steer clear of an area that she hid the Maiden of the Moon in.
Okay, so you guys are kind of looking for an area where there's a lack of activity from the bugs, maybe?
I think so.
Okay.
Or if they're not supposed to be there, then they get freaked out when they see Aster there.
Let's fast forward time a little bit. You guys are walking around. Remington, eventually, as this is going on, he pops down and he's like, hey, y'all, we've gone pretty far distance. I'm gonna head back and go get Nathaniel. I'll catch up to you. I can at least get your tracks down. I can follow where you guys went. So I'll be right back. And he takes off. But you guys continue kind of looking for an area that fits that description.
Since I have decent survival, every few feet, like every 20 feet or so, I'm gonna drag my left foot so Remington can see that.
Perfect.
Oh, lovely.
Got it. That like super reduces his difficulty for tracking you guys.
I wondered if it would. Yep.
Flowerkraut,
Yes.
would you be able to recognize her magic? Do you think there would be any way to, like, sense out her specific kind of magic?
I have an okay arcana, background, but I think the best I can do is the bell branch, but I don't want to use it until we get fairly close to something that seems like a good spot where it would be hidden. That's like the only thing that can give me a little like actual ping,
Gotcha.
As you guys are walking through, like a small ridge, a shadow cast by the ever bright moon above you, right over the top of all three of you. Just big shadow. You guys look up and you recognize the form. A bat. A big bat.
Minerva.
She circles around you, and as she circles like back behind where you came from, she lands atop a tree that you swear Wasn't there a moment ago the mirrored tree, inexplicably rooted into this rocky earth before you where no other vegetation seems capable of growing?
I wonder what she's doing here.
You have a need, as does the mirrored tree. A mutual arrangement the two have, so long as you provide. Choose now. Approach the tree and be tested again, or carry forth in your wayward search.
So Timothy can just hear, because he's in Thrig's cloak, Thrig going, bear, 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 bear. And I just start walking towards the tree.
Yeah, Flowerkraut, seeing that this hasn't really been working, she follows along, but she's feeling a little bit more tentative now.
I think Timothy would pop out of the cloak at this
You
point.
choose the tree.
Minerva, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
When we left last time, did you give Timothy a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Because I can tell ever since that moment, he just hasn't been sleeping. Like, he just seemed really off. And could you just help his anxiety? Were you happy with him?
Minerva's thumb up, it went down.
That clears up nothing. Thank you.
Oh no, wait, does she mean that the thumbs up was meant to be taken as a thumbs down?
I tried, buddy.
In order to receive the benefit of the mirror tree, first we deal in blood.
And you see her wave her wing again as 3 brambled crystal containers form out of pure pumice stone before you.
Minerva, same as last time, what sort of arrangement are we getting into? What are we doing to help the tree? What is it offering in return?
The tree thrives on the blood of those who make blood promise, as well as a little bit of life force. There is another caveat, of course. The tree has a propensity to live off of the correct answers to riddles for those engaged in said promise. You must be tested again.
And can you give us any clue to what kind of answers this tree is going to provide us in return?
You seek something. The tree may be able to help.
Minerva, we seek to help the Feywild. Surely we must be able to reach some sort of mutual understanding that we're here to help.
Here in the Feywild, we make arrangements with one another. That is all I will say.
And she wraps herself in her bat wings.
Well, ready to dive in again, guys?
Yes!
Not really. I have to speak my mind that the more deals we make, the more ties we create, and everything just seems so ambiguous. I don't know how much we can trust this process.
It got us what we needed last time.
That's true.
It did, but we've been duped more than once. But I'll follow wherever you both go.
It is worth thinking about.
Well, last time, she could have easily taken advantage of us. And we went in, and we came out and saved Rome.
I suppose you're right, Thrig.
Why would we think that she'd betray us now when she could have done it a long time ago?
I will just continue to hope for the best, then.
It is worth bearing in mind, you're right, Timothy, the more tethers we add to ourselves, the harder they will be. At one point, they could become shackles. Something we can never escape.
Now, is it really because when we go in there, you're not gonna have your stuff? Is that what's got you worried?
Flowerkraut looks at Timothy.
I wasn't thinking about that at first, but now I am thinking about that, and okay, that definitely adds a little bit to it. Oh,
It will be here. It'll be okay.
Just drag me over there before I change my mind.
Drag. I drag him over.
Thank you!
Welcome, buddy.
Flowerkraut takes out her dagger. Well, actually, first she rips out a page from her book, a blank page, and she leaves a note for Remington.
We should have had Remington write in your book so we could have sent him a message.
Yeah, I could have sent him a mind message. Well, now that this has happened, we'll remember to do that.
Okay, so you write him a message, and you're just kind of like leaving it on the ground where you guys are?
Yeah, so then she sticks her dagger into the note, into like a little bit of softer earth.
And just in case that note somehow disappears where Thrig's been laying some tracks, I am going to do like a depiction of the tree in like the dirt.
Okay.
For whatever reason, if the tree disappears while we're on this whatever, hopefully he'll know what that means.
Flowerkraut writes, Minerva's tree saw our need. We are going to make another blood promise. See you soon. Heart, Flowerkraut.
I see that the PS to Nathaniel was 3 times as long as the message to Remington.
You don't need to read over my shoulder, Timothy. Jeez.
I'm sorry. You were writing a really long time.
Why is it just a bunch of X's and O's?
Thrig looks at the note.
Flowerkraut. Like, for the first time ever, you see Flowerkraut kind of blushing, and it's like a weird, like, greenish purple color. I don't think you've ever seen her look so strange.
Flustered. All right. Who goes first?
I would assume Thrig definitely goes first.
Yep.
Thrig's enthusiasm.
Okay. You walk up, Thrig, you prick your finger on the needle, and this time it takes 2 hit points away from you.
Okay.
2 hit points that are not recoverable.
Ooh.
Okay.
At least until some other condition happens that you're not quite sure of. You feel that this time you are truly pushing your life energy into the mirrored tree. So basically, your max hit points just reduced by 2. Timothy and Flowerkraut?
Flowerkraut can go next.
Same thing. You feel that this draw is a little bit more serious than the previous one. Almost as if the blood promise that you're making now is exponentially growing every time you prick your finger. 2 hit points that are not recoverable. Minerva, kind of moves her bat wings aside, and she just like stares down at the 3 of you and kind of eyes Timothy to approach.
Hi. Okay, I'm walking. We're all friends here. Everything's cool. Yeah, Flowerkraut does it. Thrig does it. Timothy's gotta do it. Of course he does. Yeah, he can't be the only one who doesn't do it. Of course he can't. Can't be the only one.
keeps his eyes closed the whole time. And he's like just like throwing his finger out, trying to like find it without actually looking at it until he finally pricks his finger on the stupid branch.
Timothy, 2 hit points that are unrecoverable. You feel your life force get sucked into the mirrored tree, and Minerva takes to the sky as she circles around you once again, and she bellows down to you.
Without me, you are lost. But I am easily obtained. You could give me to others now, but both of you would have me just the same. Some say that I am one of 4, but will know very well there's more to see. In the voice of leaders, you will find me. What am I?
One of 4. I mean, 4 seasons? But in the voice of leaders, you will find me.
So this is tough for Ben, because Thrig is dumb. But Ben has thoughts.
And feel free, you guys can huddle as characters and discuss this without giving the answer to Minerva.
Janelle has the opposite problem of Thrig, where Flowerkraut is supposed to be pretty smart, but Janelle sucks at riddles.
I like puzzles because it's at that point where I'm already stuck on an answer, what I think is the answer.
Yeah, if you find a way to like verbalize it as Thrig, like or like kind of go through it, you can do that.
I cuddle again because so Thrig was always pretty directionless, but my storm giant teachers, they always showed me where to go, and they really guided me. So I think it's guidance or direction.
Oh, yeah. 1 of 4 is kind of reading like a compass, isn't it?
A cardinal direction. Thrig, that's brilliant. Direction.
I'm reading through one more time just to see if it fits each line.
That has to be it.
Yeah, I think it works. Minerva, we think it's direction.
You are correct.
You watch as the mirror tree, shines with the correct answer. Just, pulsates. And then she lands in the tree once more and says,
It is easy to go the wrong direction here in the Feywild. Take care not to lose your way, else you may find yourself without the ability to regain what you once lost. And now, for the second riddle.
Minerva once again takes to the sky, circles you, and bellows down.
I have oceans without water, coasts without sand, towns without people, mountains without land. I share vision with the clouds, but I am here near the ground, for I know how to find that which must be found. What am I?
A map. Yeah, I think it's a map, you guys.
It has to be. You would be looking up above. You share the vision of the clouds. Yes.
To the clouds, but you're here near the ground. Yeah.
Minerva, is it a map?
You are correct. When your senses have been spent and your target out of reach, what better way to stay on track than to consult that which always knows the way ahead? A map.
Multiple branches of the mirrored tree shift together as strange silvery blossoms bloom into round mirrors across the wooden surface of the tree itself. The tree brings them all together, joining into one large reflective surface, upon which you see yourselves at first, staring up at this view, reflecting back down. The mirror's view zooms out suddenly, high above the Pumice Mountains, and then again to what seems to be a different point in time. You see Aster walking alone between the ridges and the low hills of the Pumice Mountains. She holds the Maiden of the Moon as she passes a crumbled hill and a set of thin, porous rocks that are clustered together and stand tall like a spire. Aster looks over her shoulder, checking to see if anyone's following her. And then she descends into the next mountain through some entrance that is unseen to the mirrored tree, disappearing from view. The view then zooms back out as you see essentially the entirety range of the Pumice Mountains, and then it zooms back into where you are. So you essentially are able to derive where she was, where the zoom out happened, and where the zoom out came back to you. And then the mirrors begin to once again unfold. The branches spread out, and the tree returns to its previous form. And Minerva looks down at the three of you and says,
Thank you. The tree is pleased.
And so are we. Thank you, Minerva.
Thrig, give her thumbs up.
So we don't get a physical map out of this, I'm guessing. Should Flowerkraut have been, drawing that as we watch?
You absolutely could be. Yeah, you could have, done a really fast sketch of what you were seeing.
Of, notable features, basically. Mm-hmm. So she saw, the 3 thin rocks that are like a spire, and then noted where...
a crumbled mountain, so it looked like one of the hills of the Pumice Mountain just was, collapsed in on itself.
So yeah, anything notable, Flowerkraut did a little doodle and then she also noted basically where we were in relation to where that location was. All right, I think I've got it, you guys.
Thank you, Minerva. We are trying to do our best for the Fae.
Minerva gives a upside down thumbs up.
No, not again.
It's good, Timothy. It's good.
Okay,
it's good.
fine.
It's good.
Yes, it's good. It's good. It's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine.
And you know what? I just hugged Timothy. It's good. You do good. You're doing good.
Why do I feel like that tree took something from me?
Well, it took a little bit of your life, but...
What?
Thrig's too. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay!
It's fine. We give ourselves for others. That's what we do.
Flowerkraut kind of pauses and turns and looks at Thrig, and her eyes are kind of wide and shiny, and she's just like, I don't know, and then text pops up above her head that says Flowerkraut will remember that.
Thrig smiles at you, and then he points to the ground and goes, "Don't forget your love note."
Oh my god, Flowerkraut just tears it up. All right, there's no need for that anymore.
As it flies away, I can't help but see just some of the letters that were chosen. Saucy.
As you guys are conversing over the love note and Timothy's distrust of the system, Flowerkraut tears this note up and kind of throws it to the sky, and as it floats back towards where the tree is, you realize that for a second you guys weren't looking at Minerva or the tree, and it's gone.
Of course it is. Not surprising.
It's not surprising, but still surprising. I'm freaking out about it a little bit.
And that is where we will end our episode.
Wins with you, BB Army. This is Chad, aka the voice of Timothy Biscuit, wanting to thank you for joining us on today's episode of Break, Battle, and Roll. We hope you're enjoying our adventure as much as we are in creating it. If you're looking for more ways to connect with Break, Battle, and Roll, you can follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at Break, Battle, Roll, or you can stop by and give us a like on our Break, Battle, and Roll Facebook page. Additionally, you can check out our website at www.breakbattleroll.com. It's there you can also find a link to our Discord server where you can chat or game with us and other members of the BB Army. You can find that invite link on the top banner of that page. And if you want to follow the cast on social media, you can find me on my Instagram and Twitter, both at It's Chit Chad, that's at ITSCHITCHAD, as well as my YouTube channels, Chit Chad Show and Chit Chad Plays. You can follow Janelle, aka Flowerkraut, on her Instagram at Janelle.Wilke. That's at JANELLE.WILKE. Dustin, aka Sherman Gepherd, aka the goodest boy, can be found on his Instagram at the_final_destination. That's DUSTINATION. Ben, aka me Thrig, aka one of our musical composers, can be found on his Instagram at slam_handwich. That's HANDWICH. You can also find his other musical works under Ben Holland on his Spotify artist page. Finally, you can find Aaron, aka the Game Master, aka the barkeep of the story arc, on his Instagram at Arkuma. That's at AARKUMA. Additionally, this podcast would never operate the same without our amazing supporting crew, and we would love to give them a shout out. Starting with Rory O'Neill for being our other musical composer and providing many of our custom musical accompaniments. My amazing, wonderful wife, Allie Stafford, for managing our social media platforms. And Laura Rollins for providing additional audio editing support. And now that you're part of the BB Army, please help spread the word. If you got a friend that's into Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPGs or just narrative podcasts, please send them our way. We would really appreciate it. Also, if you or your friends are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. It's one of the best ways you can support this show. We would love to hear what you think. And once again, we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to our show. We genuinely appreciate it. But now it is time for me to go. I think I hear a certain Kenku bard getting ready to play his next set, so I better get myself a drink and find a seat. Winds be with you, travelers, until our next adventure.